Okay, let's continue with part 2 of our getting ready for Mastercam AutoCAD video for our plaque. So just finished doing the outline, critical, all continuous lines, no gaps, and everything trimmed off. All right, and then I'm going to roll out and do the arms and legs. So let's make sure this is arms and legs, and it is. So I'm going to get rid of everything here except for the arms and the legs. Oops, look, see, I made a mistake there and didn't keep part of that, so I have to undo that. And that needs to be trimmed, so I was trying to do things easy here and made a mistake. Arms and legs, so that has to stay, and these have to stay, so I'll get rid of this. These can go. Trimming here. All right, well, I think I'll do some trimming now. So modify, trim, you can type it in. There's a lot of different ways to do things. So we need to keep just the arm. And I can get rid of this thing in the center. It's of no use. It's going to be engraved on the, all right, arms and legs, just as I said. And lastly, over here we have hands and feet. So we can get rid of everything that's not hands and feet related. Good. I didn't make the hands the same size. Well, it's just a demo. So, all right, I now have these guys together. And so, believe it or not, I'm actually ready for Mastercam. So what I would do now is I would save this all up and bring all of it into Mastercam. And then I will check all of these individually in Mastercam. That will be our next lesson. And then if they're all successful, then I will take all of these layers and put them on top of this guy right here. All right, so I will join you in a few minutes. Actually, you know what? I probably have time. So I'm going to go into Mastercam from here and see how that goes. So I'm going to minimize this drawing. Actually, I'm going to save it. So. Save and into my stuff from school, and I'm going to call this my plaque test. So I have access to it, so save. All right, and I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to open Mastercam. Just have to be a little bit patient for it to open. Sometimes that message comes up, sometimes it doesn't. And this is the version that I downloaded for home use. So it's worked great so far. So again, just have to be a bit patient. So and looks like we're pretty well in. So I'm going to remind you that you hopefully have looked at this already. So you'll see over here that we are in the metric. Again, I remind you. So you want to make sure you go to File, Configuration, and change to inches and checkbox so that you are in inches. And you're going to want to bring the drawing in, File, Open, and from the computer. And Dave's stuff from school is my folder, and I don't know what happened there. So, oh right, CAD files. Always tricky to remember everything. So there we go, because it was an AutoCAD file. And look, there's my plaque of tests, which I just completed. You saw me. I'm going to open it. It's fully going to come in. So it's huge. We can never mill this out because it's way too big for our machine, but it's terrific for checking each individual area. So I am first going to work on this guy right here. So the simplest thing to do is to bring up a machine, go to Mill, bring in your default guy. I would not set up any space or anything like that at this point. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do really any of this at all because right now all we're doing is verifying that we don't have mistakes. So we're going to check that we can do a pocket between here and here, and if we can, then great. So, all right, it's as simple as that. This is just to verify that we don't have extra lines somehow in here by mistake, because we'd have to go back to CAD to fix that, or maybe we forgot to trim something off. So, all right, I'm going to start with the outline. So, I'm going to go here to Pocket, and going to click the chain. I don't know why that sometimes comes up and sometimes doesn't. Notice the green arrow, no mistakes in the border. And good, green arrow, no mistakes in there. And I can checkbox this. And I'm going to go to Tools. And look, I have no tools in there right now, so I'm going to select from the library. These are all the end mills that I already had loaded in there. I'm just going to pick like a 1/4 inch end mill. It doesn't really matter. I'm just checking that it works. And I am not going to worry about any of these other things like putting a depth in or anything like that. I guess I'll go through them one more time just in case we don't know. We use zigzag. We turn off entry motion. We leave finishing on. We turn lead out, lead in, lead out off. And again, you don't have to put a depth in. Normally you put the depth here, but we're just checking that it's a successful, the drawing is successful and the toolpath will work. So, okay. And because it looks like this, I know that it was perfect. Okay? So then I would slide over to this guy and do the same thing. Pocket. Chains up. I do each individual pocket because this is exactly what I would do. These are very small spaces, so I'm going to pocket them out with the 3/16 tool. So here I go. I'm going to go checkbox. I'm going to pick the 3/16 tool. 3/16, there it is, checkbox. And again, I'm not going to change anything else. I'm just going to check that the tool fits in there. That's great. If the 3/16 tool didn't fit in here, I would probably have to make these bigger, which means going back to this drawing over here. And actually, I'll talk about that a bit in a second if I quickly get this done in time. So again, I just continue along. So here I go. I'm doing a pocket. I'm going to pocket this. These are the hands and feet, by the way. And it looks like I do have a mistake here, so this is great. If you notice, I didn't end up selecting, like it isn't all one chain, so maybe there's copies of this guy right here. So I'm going to check and see if I can do something. So, oh, actually, it's because I'm not even in anything. So let me just hit escape. And I'll go here to Toolpaths and Pocket, and then select them. There's the arrow. There's the arrow. It does look like I have an extra, so there's the arrow, but it is green, so I'm good. Checkbox. And again, it's a small space, so I'll go check. 3/16 is already selected, and checkbox. Good, fits, everything works. I would, obviously for more detail, I would contour the insides of all these with the 1/8 inch tool to make them, have as much detail as possible. Okay, let's go in here to the dress area. So again, it's pocket picked, guy. It's green, so I'm looking good. Checkbox, and maybe the 1/4 inch tool fits in here. So go 1/4 and checkbox. Great, great. You never have to worry about engraving because engraving is always going to work. It's just that you want to make sure that you get the depth right on the engraving. So if this dress was down 0.15, then I'd go down 0.18, 0.03 deeper to get that to show up on the surface of the dress. All right, I'm going to come back out here. Maybe I'll screen fit this again. So view, fit, and then I can roll it on this guy. All right, going to check the face that I don't have any mistakes here. Again, if I have a red arrow, then that would be a mistake. I probably should have made a mistake to show you what it looks like. But if you do it right the first time, you don't have to worry about it anyway. So, all right, so here I go back to the toolpath and pocket and got it and checkbox and looking good. Tool and 1/4 inch is fine. It's mostly a circle. Great, can work. Everything's good. Gonna check my last one. Pocket. Oops. Select pocket. Pocket. And select it. And checkbox. And tool. And let's do 360s this time. Checkbox. Great. So it looks like everything is absolutely perfect. So I know now that if I go back into CAD, I can put all of these on top of each other, and I know I'll be successful. So I'm going to go back to CAD. And now that I know that all of these are perfect, I'm just going to copy them. So here I go, ready, modify, move, grab the object, enter, pick the corner as the base point, plunk it back in its spot. Good. Oops.